Johnny the fuck Minerals, who I don't even view as a real human being.
It's guys like Minerals.
Let's have it right.
He's not on my radar. I don't care about him.
You got the Minerals to
one of them brown envelope mobs.
No Minerals.
The realness of this guy.
Let's have it right.
And respect. Do you know what I mean?
Johnny Minerals.
The realness of this guy.
Minerals. Let's have it right.
Minerals FC need proper winning Minerals, mate.
Let's have it right.
And respect.
I'm just a brown envelope, or I'm
Absolutely screwed. Let's have it right.
Brown envelopes.
You brown envelopes from the club.
You got the Minerals to fight for his place.
You are in the woods wronging. Thank you, mate. Appreciate you taking the time out to say that. Cheers. This one's for you. Greetings from Centre Parks, by the way. That's the background. I hope you're all well. This is just ridiculous, though, isn't it?
The Minerals.
Minerals FC.
Do you know what I mean?
Johnny Minerals.
Johnny the fuck Minerals.
The Minerals.
In them, we know that they have the minerals. We've not.
There's minerals that you need.
It's guys like Minerals and
You got the Minerals to
Let's have it right. Minerals. Johnny Minerals.
like Minerals is one of the very vociferous Chelsea fans.
Minerals FC mudded me. I couldn't give a shit about that guy.
Let's have it right.
Hey, Johnny's got the fucking Minerals, mate.
Can everybody just stop getting shot? Let's have it right. Up the Chelsea, up the Minerals FC. Big up to every single one of you live and locked in. Up everyone is doing well winning life. First and foremost, I want you all to smash the piece that like button. If you haven't smashed it, smash it right now. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, make sure you do so. We got the notification bell ding dong. Let's have it right, so you know when we go live. And we got the Minerals FC Ultras membership, which is down below in the description. Salute to all the Minerals FC Ultras. Salute to our Chelsea old boys. We see things they'll never see. And salute to the no surrender mentality. So let's have it right. As soon as the protests broke out, and straight after the protest, we had Enzo Maresca. He said, I was focused on the game, so I didn't know about outside. The only thing I can say is that in this moment, I think fans have to trust the club because we are in the right process. We're in the right direction. What direction is that? Because we've had Enzo Maresca come out and tell us throughout the season that he's not been told by the ownership to get top four, and that the target for top four is in the next season and season after. All right, to get Champions League football. Then he's come back and said, no, the target is top four, to then say, oh, it's not, it's a process, and we're here to win in the next 5 to 10 years to bring Chelsea back to where they belong, even though the ownership, when they bought us, we were already a top four side and we won the Champions League, Super Cup, Club World Cup. So make that make sense, have it right. We'll mud that straight away. There is no process. The process is to make money. Since that, we've also had broken out that Chelsea's majority owner, Clearlake Capital, are understood to have held 2 meetings with Luis Campos to discuss becoming head of football for Blueco across its own multi-club portfolio, which would include Strasbourg, which is due to expand beyond Strasbourg. So they want to buy more clubs, which is obviously what the whole model's about. And this is only because of the rumours that Campos is now open to a PSG exit. However, the links by Duncan Castle are saying that Chelsea are in talks, Arsenal in talks, Liverpool in talks, and also PSG and the owners of PSG want to entice Campos with a new contract. So he's due a new contract. So these like players and the agents that use the journalists to try and get better contracts for their players and rumour them with links elsewhere. It doesn't apply any differently to directors and heads of football and anyone in the football game, for that matter, who's part of hierarchies in football. Now, it's also been announced, which before I go on to the Campos PR, the CPO board met Chelsea club officials last month at the annual general meeting and offered some insight into the stadium situation. The options are complete rebuild, stand-by-stand redevelopment, or move to a new site entirely with Earls Court. That ain't going to happen because of the CPO, and nothing's going to happen anytime soon. So that's all just more waffle and more PR. But there's been an update on the front of shirt sponsor, ironically. Chelsea are in talks with a leading software company for Southeast Asia. Can't disclose the name, of course you can't. But also United Emirates, I think it was. They're balking at the demands of Chelsea for the sponsorship deal, so that's why they can't get a shirt sponsor. We still haven't got a front of shirt sponsor, and we're almost, well, it's the whole season's almost done. So yeah, absolutely disgraceful and embarrassing for an elite football club like Chelsea to not have a shirt sponsor. That tells you everything about the state of our football club. However, it's come out about Luis Campos. Now, Luis Campos is known for identifying young talents and signing them for relatively low fees before selling them for significant profits. Leao was one of them, signed from Leao, 5 million from Lille for 5 million and sold for 24 million. Pepe, I mean, you've got Mbappe in there with Monaco. He's got a CV. Luis Campos is a football man. He's there to build. He's a head of football, so he oversees everyone below him, and he wants power. The reality is, it's come out that via Duncan Castles that we're in talks. It's now come out by Bobby Vincent that there is no truth in us trying to get Luis Campos. Now I have to ask the question, right? Isn't it? It's no coincidence that since after the protest, everyone was talking about change the model. And now we're getting Luis Campos, who is head of football, which actually doesn't change anything. He's just another employee that would be put into the layer cake above Winstanley and Stewart. And that doesn't make sense to me. If you've got that intent to get someone of Luis Campos' caliber and track record and experience, then go and get him from the get-go. You're only putting this in the media because of the protest, which they're trying to downplay, obviously. Now, it's clear as day that Luis Campos fits the model at Blueco. So he basically reduces the wage bill. He changes the squad's age profile, which is already changed anyway. The wage bill's already reduced at Chelsea. He discards overpaid stars like Neymar, Messi, Sergio Ramos, creating a squad more suited on the demands of modern football. It's all of this modern football. This is what I'm talking about with Blueco. They've come in to change the fabric and pyramid of football and a low wage structure. Now, listen, we've got a wage structure of 150 grand cap, all right? Luis Campos has got no flexibility on that. Is he going to want that? Does he want to go to Chelsea? Why would he? Does he want to be dictated by Egbali, Feliciano and Bowley? He wants power. The Winstanley and Stewart are the ones that so-called got the power. Everyone in the fan base is like, sack Winstanley, sack Stewart. And now you want to talk about a Campos coming in, and that changes the model. It doesn't change nothing. And the reality is he going to go to Chelsea with the way we are, or is he going to go to a Liverpool or Arsenal or stay at PSG? I think I'll go with the latter. Let's have it right. Now you're getting it dismissed. You're getting it dismissed. All the links with Campos. It's been dismissed by the one other, and then we'll land it now, what's been said, by Fabrizio Romano. He says, no negotiations are taking place with other directors. We've got 2 already. Why do we need 3? Why don't you just sack Winstanley and Stewart and bring in Campos? Job done. No. Oh, it's the head of football role that we want to fill. Oh, I didn't know you needed that role. So, again, more bullshit PR, and Fabrizio Romano and Ben Jacobs have squashed the rumours with Campos. Well, let's have it right. The bigger news is this from Fabrizio Romano. Chelsea is not planning to change their management structure, and they are happy with the current directors and planning with them. Therefore, no negotiations taking place with other directors. So what does that tell you, Bright Sparks? And the way he's worded it is change their management structure. No, what he means is they're not going to change their model. Because they can't change their model. So all these supporters and all these content creators going, what's the message with the protest? Change the model, get the directors out, or Blueco out. It's clear as day they're not going to change the model. They cannot change the model. And let me explain to you why. Yeah? Again, the debt that they are financing the running of the club from Aries Management is 500 million loan with a 13% interest rate. Yeah? Roughly. 12.96, whatever you want to call it, percent. All right. The syndicate bank loans I was thought it was 3.25%. It's not. It's Sonia plus 3.25%, which equals 7.7%. So they've also taken 702 million from the syndicate bank loans at 7.7% interest rate. They financially cannot change the model. And the PR now is to show that they want to bring in a household name in football with Campos so that everyone goes, oh, look, they're trying with the intent. We're getting someone that we actually know and not these mid-directors in Winstanley Stewart who are still going to stay in their positions. So they ain't going to change the model. And then you've got all these content creators coming out saying, oh, no, they're not going to leave. There's no point in protesting for them to leave. They're not going to leave. Well, who's telling you they're not going to leave? There's no clause for them to say that they can't leave. Prove it. You can't. That's all PR lies from Sky News. It's the financial debt that they have taken, which is worse than Manchester United's debt, by the way. And Man United are years of destruction and sabotage. We're 3 years in, and we are much worse than the Glazers with these owners. These owners are worse than the Glazers. They're the worst in the history of football, mate. Yeah? So what kind of message is it to say about, no, they can't, and dismiss they can't leave when you know that they can leave and they can sell? It's clear as day they can sell. They don't want to sell because they want their investment. They want their return and to all their investors. Otherwise, if they sell now, all they're going to end up doing is making a little small amount of profit, but have to pay off all the debt that they've taken on with the club and get their 2.5 billion quid back. They don't want to do that because they've got a long-term plan and they want to stay at this long-term plan. So more and more supporters and these platforms that keep dismissing that they can't sell the club, you're a muppet, yeah? You're an embarrassment. And you're showing that the Chelsea fan base has got no backbone. Do you understand me? It's blue coat out. That is the only way, yeah? Now, Campos is a prime example of selling players after buying them on low wage structure and low transfer fees and making them superstars. They're not changing their fucking model. What don't you get with that? And that's the whole point of the protest. And the protest is only the start. They are clearly coming out saying they're not going to change the model after the protest has happened. The protest is not going to get them to sell straight away. This protest that's just happened. It's not going to get them to change the model. But what it has done is proven that they are not willing to change the model. And Fabrizio Romano's telling you that in 5K. And we got Matisse going on Talk Sport, a fucking embarrassment, the librarian, going, I didn't turn up because the focus, has to be on the directors. Well, here you go, my son. It's fucking clipped in 5K. The directors ain't going nowhere and the model ain't changing. So, yeah, carry on streaming and milking it for a pound note instead of standing up for what's fucking right and getting these owners out. And on Talk Sport an embarrassment. Jim White going, oh, grown men protesting, chanting Roman Abramovich. Well, listen, what, the UK government that you're backing, yeah? The one that had everyone locked up with their trotters up, yeah, in Downing Street when it was lockdown, all having a fucking orgy, yeah? And let's have it right. The gifts weren't Christmas presents. Well, they were. The gifts were OnlyFans, slosh pots flying about. While everyone else is cooped up, locked in, can't see their family members who might be passing away, yeah? That's the UK government we're backing, yeah? That sanctioned Roman illegally. Yeah, it's an embarrassment, bruv. It's an absolute fucking embarrassment. Yeah, Simon Jordan as well, another one waffling on. It's just like when are people going to understand? Yeah, that everyone's in the pocket. Now we got Meatloaf Bowley, who's due to be speaking tonight at 6 p.m. with the Financial Times, the same Financial Times that actually let everyone know about the Aries management loan of 500 million, but no one paid attention. The same Financial Times that have documented the debt that Blueco have taken up. So let's see what Meatloaf Bowley's going to say, because we want to hear about Vivid Seats. We want to hear about the protest. We want to hear about your so-called model. Or is it all going to be exactly as we drew it up? And I would do anything for pound notes. Yeah, because I don't expect him to mention any of this stuff. Yeah, it's going to be PR dribble. Yeah, and the reality is we're not going to hear from him about Vivid Seats because we don't hear anything from any Chelsea accounts. I haven't heard it from Fabrizio Romano. Wants to report about they're not going to change the management structure, but he won't report on Vivid Seats. Neither will Ornstein. Neither will Ben Jacobs, Nizar Kinsella, Matt Law. None of the Chelsea accounts are speaking on it. And now you've got all of these so-called content creators who, well, what are we talking about now? What are we going to talk about? Just put the protest to the side, is it? No, that's just a start, mate. That's just a start. This is the smallest little protest with the biggest fucking Mike Tyson right hook, bro. Yeah, knockout. We're biting ears off because it's come out as well that there's some suggestions, all right, that the hierarchy want a chief of football to handle everything under Blue Coast. So you're telling me that Campos is going to come in and not be dictated by Barley, who oversees and signs off all these players, not Winstanley and Stewart. But everyone thinks it's Winstanley and Stewart. They're just the fall guys in the layer cake. Yeah. So you think Campos is going to be a yes man to Clown Lake? No chance. They also said some inside the club are happy that protests didn't go the other way. In other words, it wasn't 10,000 supporters outside. They were happy it was only 300-400 supporters. But are they happy about all the press? No. Every brown envelope that they use had to report it. In fact, Fabrizio Romano was the only one, from what I can see, that didn't tweet out about the protest. So that makes sense, in the pocket of the clowns. Oh, I work 20 hours a day, merchant. Yeah, you're in the mud. Yeah. Also say Chelsea believe today's win against the Saints will bring back to winning ways. Protest news has been noted. They point out that all of this is reactionary for a bad run until Chelsea start winning. No, this is not a reaction to a bad run of form. This is a reaction to 3 years of how our club's been run into the ground in the mud, and there are no stands at this football club. And now everyone's like, "Oh, but we're in the top four. We're not in the top four no more. We're fifth. We're fifth." And there's a lot of swings and roundabouts. So I don't want to hear this narrative. Why are we not in the top four in the first season these lot took over, or the second season these lot took over, and now the third season we're waiting to see after spending 1.5 billion with no spine? And they are outright telling you they're only going to buy kids. They're only going to buy unproven players and try and make money because they have to sell to buy, and we are a selling club, farming club. If you do not understand that, then I don't know what to tell you. Then stop bitching and whining. Don't bother giving your opinion. And all this notion of, oh, we're here to support the players. We support the players. Not the players' fault that they signed at this football club and that they're not all good enough to play for Chelsea. It's not their fault. We blame the hierarchy. Everything stems from the ownership. And the ownership are not getting away with it on my watch. I'll tell you that now. Facts. Yeah? No one's getting away with it. Absolutely no one. So it's come out again 10 minutes ago. Chelsea are not planning to change the management structure. Fabrizio Romano. So you think that a protest has got no power? I knew that nothing's going to change after this protest. But what I do know is that that small minority of supporters that actually had a backbone to fucking land it and call it out and say Blue Co out, like the Strasbourg Ultras, are well ahead of us in that sense. And they're not even a big club like us. The fact that that protest has come out, the fact that every journalist was there and everyone was talking about it, all right, and it paints the ownership in the most negative light, that is something that will dent their ego and dent their image, irrespective. I knew they were never going to change the model. They can't change the model. Financially, they can't. So I expect that. That's no coincidence. This is the start of getting them out of the football club. That is what the protest symbolises. Because I hope everyone understands that no matter how many protests you do, they're not going to change the model because financially they cannot change the model. So they can sack a Winstanley Stewart, which they don't want to, and they won't because they've already told you they're bulletproof. But by the way, we're looking for Campos. Make it make sense. It's all PR to carry on with their usual routine of milking our club for a pound note, and all the supporters are just going to let them go on. You lot are 2.5 years behind me, and now you're going to be another 2 years behind me because you want to go with a change the model agenda, which ain't going to happen. And eventually, maybe a year or 2 years later, you will be at a protest saying Blue Co out. And it is very sad. But if you don't want to listen, don't listen. It is what it is. Carry on. But the reality is, how do you expect them to sell 64 players? And what do you expect them to buy? They're not going to go and buy experienced world-class players. They're never going to do it. They financially can't do it. And the wage structure doesn't allow them to do it. And they're telling you in 5K via Fabrizio Romano, their mouthpiece, they ain't changing the model. So stop going on about changing the model and think about changing the ownership. That's the route we have to go. And trust me, we have 10,000 supporters out there protesting. Like Man United are going to have 20,000. They started off small with 200, and now they're at 20,000 predicted at their next protest at the Arsenal v Arsenal. So let's have it right. We can grow. We will grow in numbers, and people are starting to wake up. The reality is, you say boycott. The only thing that's going to do it any damage is hurt their pockets. Well, I've been hurting their pockets with Eunice by exposing Vivid Seats, and yet no one wants to speak a fucking word about it. And every supporter membership, every member's having their membership money taken, and they can't go and buy tickets. Every season ticket holder's getting 1 out of 4 away tickets, and they're struggling. And these tickets, meanwhile, are being taken first dibs from Vivid Seats, Bowley's Vivid Seats. Let's have it right. He's a majority owner, and being sold for 600% profit, 300% profit. And everyone's happy with that. That is their main mechanics in terms of generating more revenue. That's it. Expose it. Keep exposing it. Don't let it go. Because none of the journalists will speak on it because they're told not to. Boycotting by not going in the stadium is everyone's way of thinking in terms of, yeah, that's going to stop these lot from, well, running the club, wanting to sell the club because you're hurting their pocket. No one's going to do it. No one's going to go there, scan their ticket and not go in. They can't. They love Chelsea too much and they want to support the players. So they're abusing the loyalty and love of every Chelsea supporter. So that's not going to work. Only protest works. A full-on protest only works. And this is the start and there'll be many more coming. 100%. It's going to happen. It's inevitable. Let's have it right. So they can downplay a protest all they want. They're arrogant fucks. And I will not accept it. And I will be the platform that will push it out. And I'm not going to stop. The reality is, all these other platforms are flip-flops. They're wishy-washy. They go where the narrative goes. They're not. They're all pony, bruv. And everything I'm saying on this upload muds you lot and exposes you for being pony. And it's sad because these owners are playing on that. They're playing on the divide. And that divide is becoming bigger and bigger and bigger. And what's going to happen after that? Chelsea are going to sink even lower. And we're going to be irrelevant. But in terms of finances, we won't be irrelevant to the ownership. We'll be very relevant because that's what it's all about. And on top of that, more PR about a pub being built. Yeah, built. Yeah. We've got more PR about that. It's just, I don't give a fuck about what all this PR is. It's all there because the protests happen. And they are scared and they are rattled and they are pissed off. And ask Egbali why he blocked me. Let's have it right. A fucking billionaire owner come to Johnny Mills' account to block me. Listen, it tells you everything you need to know. And I'm still waiting for Liam Tanney's article using Greg Cordell on the financial debt taken by Blueco. Let's have it right. I want to hear about that. And I want to hear more about Vivid Seats. I don't want to hear you trying. And that's where we land. Later on today, I'm doing a show with Eunice and Gunny. So make sure you're tuned in at 4 o'clock. Respect to everyone in here. Land and minerals. And keep doing what we do all day long. Mudding and exposing the PR. Respect to everyone. Up the Chelsea, up the Minerals FC. And put your comments down below. And make sure you smash that like button. And I'll leave you with our Don Roman. Let's have it right. Because that's what it's all about, bruv.